Hi, welcome to the Stocking It Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 95. And it could be the one with bad lighting. We had the light go out at the end, or at the beginning of last week's episode, and I haven't gotten to replace the expensive halogen. The shop lamps are actually, like, it's cheaper to just buy the brand new one. Like, the halogen light bulbs are super expensive. Like, I don't know, how much do you think a halogen light bulb costs? Let's play the prices right here.
You said it was super expensive.
Well, for one little teeny tiny light bulb, like, you look at it and you're like, it was like $8 or $9.
Oh, I was
for
gonna
a light bulb.
Okay.
I mean, it's not 20, but I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I find them pricey for what they are, especially since we seem to go through them.
Yes.
They do not have what you call the lasting quality. How's your week been?
Okay. Good.
Good. You had a good extended holiday weekend?
Yep. Sent a second grader to school.
Me too.
Sending a kindergartner tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I forget that they delay it that first week.
Yep.
They do. She's super excited.
Yes.
Good.
She seems very excited. And she got to meet the teacher today, and yeah, she knows a few kids in her class.
That's exciting.
And she'll get to go to morning care with her brother. So,
excellent.
It's all big time excitement tomorrow morning, I'm sure.
Sure. And I'm keeping you out late tonight. Will she ride the bus? No. Okay. I didn't know. That was always kind of traumatic. Yeah, riding the bus. My daughter's school is literally across the street, so we won't be riding the bus unless they do some creative districting for elementary school. Like, oh, we're going to send you way far away. Yeah, so yep, here in Minnesota, the first day of school is at the, after the Labor Day weekend, so that we can keep our kids working in the fields as long as possible. Kind of an antiquated,
And our kids, shopping and going out to resorts, or I don't know. I think that they have a thing about the tourism industry likes to have the key after.
And the fair, right?
Yep.
And you went to an orchard, I saw. Had a
Yep.
really comically large chair that your children were standing on.
Yeah, and I did not realize that that was a thing. The orchards have large chairs. Because a lot of people commented on my picture that, hey, they have one of those at my orchard too. And they were in different parts of the country. It's not like, the Midwesterners. No, it seems like everywhere. But, yeah, so we did that. Still have some of the apples. They're a little tart, but still enjoyable.
We had some administrati that we should probably quit chit-chattering away about.
Yes, let's get this done.
Let's get this on the road. Very exciting. We had a lot of people enter for the self-striping KAL, which I think is they were motivated to get their entries in. It's kind of bookkeeping, really. To get the Kirby Warby in the Zombie Granny Panties colorway. This is her sparkle base, which is 450 yards, which is a generous put up for what I consider a sock yarn. 700% superwash merino, 250% nylon, and 5% fabulous Selena. I didn't inflate that one. And it dyes up a little different because bases dye up a little differently, but this is the BFL. So it's I believe they stripe in the same order. So it's a pink, gray, green, purple.
Yay!
Yes.
And the winner is?
We had 1,094 entries, so 2 through 194, and random number generator picked Dawn's Knits, and that is Dawn. She was 278, And it was back in February, which she got in at the last minute in February. But I bet she's glad she did, because she just won the zombie granny panties. So congratulations, Dawn. And if you can contact me.
Another thing I noticed about Dawn is that she had entered 8 times.
Yep.
So she's entered every time.
She has maximized her winning potential. Way to go, Dawn. Woohoo. And I'll be sending that out, so PM me, just run it, and I will get it on its way. And we also wrapped up the Windswept KAL, which was kind of a niche KAL. We only had 17 entries, and we had 4 winners, so yeah, your odds of winning were basically 1 in 4.
Yeah, really good. So
really good.
So for the first 2 prizes, you're going to be contacting me, and these are the signed copies of the Handmade in the UK.
Yes. This one says, "Thanks so much for your support, Emily Webber."
And this says, "Enjoy the lace."
I love that. Enjoy the lace. Life is so fun. Enjoy the lace. So we had 2 through 17, and the books went to number 6 and number 15, which were Mrs. Shoe, and that is Sarah, and Java Jenny.
So contact us and you can get a signed copy. And then if you already have a copy, you can generously give it to a friend.
I mean, I doubt that you have a copy that's signed, because I don't think there's a lot of these floating around. I've heard they're collector's items.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful, fabulous. I mean, we have the PDF version that Emily generously, the Bonnie, gifted to us, and so, but this is work. There's the Windswept right there. I have a Botany that you'll be seeing later. Anyway, Mrs. Shoe, Java Jenny, contact Amy. Next up, we have the very generously donated Knit Run Dig sweater size bag. You can kidnap people and take them to undisclosed locations with said bag. And that's Knit Run Dig at Etsy.com. And the winner was number 3, who is Retro Lemon. So Jenna, please contact me, or I can just send it to you. Have your address. And we'll get that bag to you. It's a nice size. You can put another sweater like Windswept in it.
Yeah. Cat hair free of charge.
Yes. Max hair is added for your maximum potential there. And then last but certainly not least, the wonderful Amy Beth of Fat Squirrel Speaks and Fat Squirrel Fibers gave us 2 skeins of her hazelnut base, which is an MCN. It's very generous put up. It's 150 grams, so
600 yards.
So 1,200 total. In the leaf green, I mad heart that color.
This is really pretty stuff.
Very pretty color.
And hopefully our winner loves it too.
Who is 9, Kathy 02125, which is the zip code in Boston.
Yeah.
So good old Kathy. Please
Kathy in
contact
Boston.
Kathy in Boston.
I believe I had some quality time with Kathy in Boston
On a yarn crawl.
On a yarn crawl.
So, yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, it was super fun. Everybody that was in that prize thread, we knew in one way or another. Like,
yeah,
in real life or just being super active on our boards. So
yes, active board members, and yeah, it was a lot
voting board members. I've noticed. And thank you so much for KALing with us. It was fun, and you guys had some awesome sweaters out there. Awesome.
So again, contact Megan for the yarn.
Kathy of Boston, contact me. And then, last but certainly not least, all of those things wrapped up except that the self-striping KAL is, you can get your 9th entry in there for all you that have been caught up. We also have the Sun Valley Fibers Mix and Match KAL for September and October. That is, you can knit the Austin hoodie with me or the Pont Neuf with Amy. We both have our projects in our
Apple
Quinton apple bags. I swear we don't walk around with them together and like, we're besties. We've got matching bags. We're doing a KAL.
What's a KAL?
Is that like some sort of athletic feat? A KAL? Something like a triathlon? Sort of, a bit different. So you can knit those, or if you have some Sun Valley fiber, which you should in your stash, you can knit any project as long as it's with Sun Valley fibers. So, hoping that we'll be more, not that having 17 people knit a sweater is fantastic, but hoping we've got more participation this next 2 months.
Yes, more inclusive, less exclusive.
More general, less. I wouldn't say that we've ever been exclusive in our life.
Okay.
But go ahead. Yes.
Come on.
Pointed out that I didn't get you one.
Yeah. So we had talked about how she had gotten one of these at Stitches, and I was lamenting that she didn't pick me up one, and the lovely Jeanette sent me one in the mail. Well, she sent me 2 in the mail. So, thank you, Jeanette. And I really love the card. The llama looks like he's wearing a headband. It's like he's getting ready to exercise.
Is it one of her llamas?
And it makes me smile, so I put it up on my fridge. He does. He's got white hair right across below the ears, just like a headband. He's ready to be part of the Royal Tannenbaums.
And I believe they're going to be at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool this weekend. Okay. I have a soccer tournament up in the Twin Cities that I won't be able to attend. But I think that they're vending at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, which is this upcoming weekend. But anyway, go out and check them out. I'm sure she's got a list on. I know she's got a list on her webpage that has where they're vending and when. Yep, because she's super cool like that. And that is all the administrati. I mean, we're only 12 minutes in, unless you felt like you needed more. Super excited for all the winners. Super thankful to all of the participants and all of the people who very generously donated the prizes.
I guess I do have another thing that came up. I was generously gifted a Boo Bat pattern.
Oh, cool.
From a viewer. Thank you very much. It was totally unexpected. And I actually happen to own that pattern. And I bought it off of the Mushi Mushi Land website. Well, I was like, what do I do? I contacted Mushi Mushi Land, Anne. That's right, Anne. And just kind of put out my, like, oh, I already have this pattern, you can check your records, is there any way we could swap it for another pattern so that, this person's generosity wouldn't go to waste? And her generous face did all of the legwork and gifted me every pattern that I had bought off of her website.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
So
nice.
Wonderful. So now I have all of the patterns that I had purchased from her on her website in my Ravelry account. And I don't have to worry about losing them anymore. And and also I was allowed to swap out, and I got the teeny tiny pets. And they're adorable. And the person who gave me Boo Bats was suggesting that we might do a Stuffies Halloween themed Stuffies KAL. And I was just kind of batting around in my head like, what do I do? We got a lot of KALs going on, and it just seems like overkill. But once I got that teeny tiny pets book, I was like, this is totally what we should do. So I was thinking in October, more details to come, I'd have a knit along for stuffies made out of sock yarn.
Oh, cool.
So sock yarn would be the only requirement, that your stuffy be made out of fingering weight yarn. Maybe
so
sport.
wee things.
Yeah. Sport, pushing it. We want them to be wee. So her teeny tiny things are like an inch. But if you're knitting something that was made for worsted weight and it shrinks it down by quite a bit by using fingering weight, that counts. So just what pattern you used and fingering weight yarn.
And we have a Scott donated it wants us to give away one of his Kraken
okay.
patterns, so that'll go along quite
Perfect.
nicely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we will have a Stuffies KL in October.
That's
so,
Mr. Chicken for anybody that's going, who's Scott? So.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
A designer of Stuffies.
Yes.
Much like myself.
Except for what you're currently designing, but we're not going to go into that. That would be a spoiler alert.
So I just wanted to mention that Mushy Mushy Land, excellent customer service. Loved that above the Call of Duty aspect of her customer service. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very excited for
Can't
my
buy good press like that.
Teeny tiny pets. I
Yeah.
mean, the itty bitty stuff. I mean, they're like an inch tall. They're so
Well, they
cute.
say that when people get bad customer service, that they tell like a bajillion people, right? But that hardly anybody ever mentions when they get good. So it's awesome that you shared.
Yeah, this was just above. I mean, it was just so cool.
Yep.
And I would also recommend to anybody that's bought digital patterns from another source that they go make sure that, if it's something that's near and dear to you, you list it in your library as something that you have.
Yeah, you can add patterns to your library without buying them through Ravelry.
Right.
That way somebody wouldn't errantly buy it for you.
Right.
Yep. True story.
But I'm very excited about my new pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And the boo would be so cute in sock yarn. That's all I have to say. That boo bad, so cute. And I have the Zombie the Podcaster. It ends up being like 3.5, 4 inches tall in sock yarn.
And the weeb. And the cat.
And the weeb and the
I
cat.
haven't done a cat auto fingering. Maybe I'll do that.
Me either. That sounds like fun.
Anyway,
And
October.
tangent.
Can it get here any faster?
Yeah.
All right. FOs. I see a beautiful one laying over there by you.
Still kind of wet.
No.
But
It's a wet
I
FO.
need
It's
to
a WFO.
need to bring it. I finished my dress. Julissa. Jeez. I did it again. One last time.
Mint
for good measure.
Julissa.
Yes, my mint Julissa. And this is Madeline Tosh Cream to Mint colorway. And it's held double. Tosh Merino Light held double.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so smooshy and it's wet right now. And I actually did have quite a bit left over. I would say about
left over. Wow.
Yeah. I had how to say this? Like probably half of a skein of yarn. But a single skein, not a held double skein. I don't know.
Okay. Got it.
So maybe 100 yards left over. So I could have made longer sleeves, but I just made a, design choice. I liked them at half sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't the ones that I was thinking I was going to get that would be up here. I got a little bit more length out of them. But the pattern pictured goes below the elbow, and I just didn't want to do that. So and there it is.
It's beautiful. It's
And-
very smushy in that fingering hold double.
And I will say that this is a lot of negative ease.
Vavoom!
Yeah, it is a lot of negative
But this
ease.
stuff in here stretches a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's nothing like a symmetrical pattern to show you how differently you do your knit two togethers versus your SSK. Like it looks like this side's a little wider than this side.
Yeah.
But
Got to do some stitch kegels and tighten those up, man.
you never think about it as you're doing. I mean, I don't. It just
Didn't block out? That stuff didn't block out?
Well, it did, but not to the.
You can notice it. Your trained eye notices.
My trained eye noticed it. I don't think that it'll bother me. I just noticed it when I was done. But yeah, again, still slightly damp. So, but yeah, I was kind of hoping for that superwash grow effect a little bit because it's a lot of negative ease.
I don't often block my sweaters like with pinning, but when they're wet like that, I'll like get the arms and stretch them as far as they can. If they seem tight around here, or like put it on my body and put my arms. It's almost like the wet blocking for me is actually on my body. It doesn't like dry on my body, but I do stretch it quite a bit.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yes,
like I
ma'am.
should throw that on and start doing a dance in it to make sure that it.
Maybe throw on a ceiling fan. It'll decoupage itself onto you.
That would be really funny. Like,
hey, I can't get out of my sweater. And then your husband walks in. Let me help you get out of that sweater. So, I have a very vivid imagination.
this is my one and only FO. How about you?
No. Thank you for that lead. I finished my self-stripy socks. These are toe up with my OMG heel. No patterning because I started them at stitches, and boy howdy was I not happy when I got to that second sock and had to do another plain vanilla. But they fit really nicely. The OMG heel fits very nicely with the plain stocking knit, not just the blurred lines pattern. This is Vesper on zeros. I went up to a 72 stitch count, and my gauge was about 9.5 stitches per inch.
Now, have you been wearing these?
I have not.
You wore them the first day.
I did because I posted a picture online of me wearing them the first day. I haven't been walking around in them per se. Like I sat down and I had them on, and then I got up and took them off, and so yeah, I haven't been walking around on my bare floors, nor have they been in shoes.
Okay.
But yeah, this is Vesper in the Winter's Passing, and it'll be an experiment because they are 100% superwash merino with no nylon, and I'm tough on socks. It's a very light fingering, so here's hoping. I'm hopeful. And then I finished up. I was finishing all the things because I was going to cast on all the things. My botany from Handmade in the UK, out of mink, Grinning Gargoyle mink in the gunmetal colorway. It's very pretty. The mink blocked out very nicely. I noticed like the lace, it seems like the mink did fine, but up here on the garter at the edging, it's very, very fuzzy.
Yeah.
And almost felted.
Almost felted, yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't feel like I stretched it too much, but it just got wet, and then rolled up in a towel and smooshed, so I don't know why the top and only the top would be super fuzzy. But the rest of it looks really nice. I mean, I could roll that under and you wouldn't see it. You can kind of see some fuzziness.
Yeah, I guess if you hold it up like that, you can see the fuzziness along the surface.
Yep.
It's just because it's on the edge that
it's
you're noticing.
still uber soft, and the yarn kind of very much bloomed. Like, I could have stretched this to much larger than this. Like,
But you're not a big shawl fan.
I'm not. So this is way large enough for me. I had trouble getting this top line flat while I was blocking it, but everything else, you just pinned out the points and voila. Yes, it's a very nice, very nice pattern. Simple enough, but yeah, complicated enough to look really interesting. And can't say enough nice things about it. It was very interesting to knit, but I wanted to get it. I was savoring it, and then I got into the finish it mode.
Okay, I gotta
You're gonna
do
try
the
on.
scarf part of it.
Ooh. Yes. You've got a skein of yourself.
I know, I do.
Which reminds me, I have a 24 gram, not ounce, skein left over. So I'm going to divide it into 3 lots of 8 grams, and the first 3 people to PM me, I will send you 8 grams of 100% mink in the gunmetal colorway from Grinning Gargoyle, so you can give it a try. It's lace weight, so you...
Do you want to say response to the thread?
Yes.
I
said PM.
You
Sorry.
said PM.
Yes. I would get a lot of PMs. Sorry.
I'm just
Good
trying
catch.
to help you.
Good catch. Good catch. Response to the thread, and then once you're one of the 3 that are there, you'll get a PM so that I can get your email or your email. Yes, I'm going to email you the mink. Your postage address so that I can send it to you, and you can try it. It's a very lightweight lace, and so you could knit yourself a nice little swatch that you could love, as Amy is loving up my shawl. Super soft.
And it smells good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with Angora, but I think it holds up better than Angora. Like, it's not as ephemeral as Angora. It was a pleasure to work with. It bloomed quite a bit and stretched quite a bit in the wet state, and its softness is only softened up. So,
but yes, it's got a serious halo going on there.
Halo. So yes, the first 3. This episode 95's thread, and I will send you 8 grams of mink. Yo. Yep. And those are the 2 things that I had on the needles that I needed to finish up, and they got finished up.
So I am powering through my blurred lines. This is my second sock, and past the heel and onto the foot. A couple repeats of the striping, and I should be good to go.
You can try out those heels.
Yes. One thing I noticed is that I must have done something different on the other ones that I didn't do on here, and I decided not to go back. I will fix it in post.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a hole on the join.
Real raggy.
Yeah, but the other one didn't end up that way, so something got omitted.
Lost in the translation.
Yep. My problem.
I don't know. I've heard things about that pattern writer.
Just kidding. She's a nut.
She's kind of goofy.
So, I cast on, I got cast on itis a bit, so I've cast on 3 things that weren't here before, and I've also been spinning quite a bit, so you're not going to see that stuff, but, so I casted on Noodle. He's a Chihuahua.
Yes. Super cute.
And, this is just some leftover sock yarn, and, I realized that I don't have the finishing pieces that are small enough for Noodle this size, so I went out to 6060 Eyes on Etsy and ordered a bunch of stuff. So hopefully I'll have that next week, and maybe I'll have Noodle to a point where I can have his face done. I forgot how addicting toys can be. Yeah, I just kept knitting until I got to the stopping point. My next chore is to stuff the body and then work on the head, but in order to do all the placement and close up the head, I need to have the eyes and the nose.
Yep. So that you can put the locking piece in there.
Yep.
Right? Yep.
So I thought, okay, I'm at a good stopping point, and as soon as I get the actual eyes and nose from the website, I will be able to go gangbusters on that. So it might just be his body with his nose, no ears or legs, but I should have more progress on him.
Excellent.
And then I cast on 4 things. Oh my gosh. So this is the Gunner the Girl. This is my first of my sock giver items, and I just cast on Topik. So I don't know, it's BFL. I'm enjoying it.
I love my BFL.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I picked out the pattern, but I'm not sure if I want to share that yet. Let the person who's getting them live in suspense a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a basic pattern, but it should give some interest to the sock.
Is it one I would know?
Probably not. It's just out of a book that I have in my house.
Oh, fun.
And then I got a last minute note from a testing group for Elena Nodal, and so I was doing some test knitting for the Elise mitts, and so this one's for my daughter, and I messed up on the thumb gusset positioning. It wasn't the pattern, it was the person reading it. And by the time I figured out my mistake, I just didn't care to go back and fix it. So my flowers are shifted. They're not centered. But I don't mind that. I think that that's okay. They're not shifted completely to the side or anything really wonky. It's just not centered. And I thought that was okay. But I thought that to be a good tester, and I was planning on doing this anyway, I would just cast on, this is the left, and I would cast on the right in adult size. And I'm going to do a grello. So I'm starting with yellow, and I'm going to add gray.
That's some leftover from the blanket.
Yes.
Yep.
This is my leftovers from knitting a blanket for somebody.
Yep.
And yeah, so it should be fun. You get a certain amount of mojo. There are a lot of corrections that already come out, and we need finished objects by the 9th. So I'll be working on this probably a little bit more exclusively after a while. And that's so that she can get an idea of how much yarn. So if I get one mitt done, I could double it. So I gotta definitely get this adult size large
wrapped up.
Yeah.
There's 3.
And she has a lot of test knitters, so I don't feel like super like, oh my god, she really needs my input. But I am using different yarns than other people, so it will give her a nice average if I finish. And then this is my Pont Neuf, and it's got a provisional cast on, and it's a whole lot of plain old sweater. Ridiculous amounts of plain old sweater.
Bottom up or top down?
It's a top down, but
I'm jealous.
Top down, and then you are gonna knit a panel, and then you do the edging and stuff. So I mean, I guess I knew that going in, but it just dawned on me as I'm starting it, going, oh my gosh.
Could you do your dessert first, like I did with Bonnie? Could you? No. Could you do the panel first?
You could. It'd be like, instead of picking up the stitches, I'd be sewing it in, I think.
Okay.
So,
yep.
Just depends. And I also thought about converting to a pullover, but I kind of like the button details on this, so it'd be a matter of making the buttons decorative or not. And I kind of, it's like, well, the idea of not having the buttons be functional, it's alright, because then you don't have the gapping or the pulling that you might have. So I'm going to knit the base body sweater and see how much ease I end up with. I'm knitting it spot on right now. I shouldn't have any ease, but I'm also using a different yarn than recommended. I believe that the recommended yarn is DK. This is listed as worsted, but they might be the same size. But I'm not knitting any different because I think that if it's on gauge or a little bit bigger, it's gonna still be a nicely fitted item that I'm not gonna be disappointed in. But you can see it's only like an inch. Done. And sorry about the coughing. Man, can't help these colds.
Yes. They are insipid. And that is all?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Well, you said you had cast on itis, so I was just
preparing for the
I
worst.
was preparing for the worst, and then you kept on adding numbers. It was a thing. So I mentioned earlier, this is I cast on the cuff of my zombie granny panties Kirby Werby BFL yarn. I'm just doing some patterning here because the pring stocking that drove me about batty. And then this is a prototype for I'm going to try to do a top down OMG heel.
Yep.
Which won't be too much different other than instead of increasing, you'll be decreasing, and I'm a little worried about how the decreases will fit underneath your foot. So I want to give that a try, and am keeping track of what I'm doing here just in case anybody's interested. So there's that, and then I cast on for our KAL the Austin hoodie, which is by Connie Chang Chinchio.
Sure.
It is bottom up, which I did not realize. I realized before I cast on because she has notes that indicates that you're working it from the bottom up. So this is a turned hem, which I've never done before, but was super simple, and I like the way it looks. I'm a little worried about whether or not it's going to continue to roll after it's been blocked.
Oh.
So, as you can see here, I thought turned hems weren't supposed to roll. Isn't that like the point of doing them?
Yes.
It's like an edging that isn't a garter. Anyway, so I'm going to block the living daylights out of this so that it doesn't do that. I just got to where I'm doing some waist shaping, which I think might be a little premature if I end up lengthening it, which is another reason why I like top-down sweaters. You can kind of figure out where now it's kind of like, well, is this really where I want to do waist shaping, or if I want it to be? Maybe it's just because I'm more of a top-down sweater knitter, so I understand where those things are supposed to occur and when. And like being a top-down versus a bottom-up or a toe-up sock knitter.
And I just about went whoop right past it again.
Uh-oh. She went past the pattern row again, earlier and had to tink. So yeah, I got about 4 inches there. A lot more to go. I'm using this. Oh, it's fabulous to work with. It reminds me a lot of TML, which is a good thing in my world. And I'm alternating skeins here. This is Sun Valley Fibers in her single ply superwash merino, 100%, 400 yards per skein. And the color is intense, but I've taken to calling it Bazinga Blue.
Bazinga Blue.
Knock your eyes out. What'll do? They're fairly evenly matched. I can't tell the difference between if I skipped a row or not.
Mm-hmm.
There are some lighter, because it's hand-dyed, lighter spots every once in a while, but I don't think it's consistently in one skein or the other. So it's got a nice little faux hem on the edge. Or seam, sorry, hem. Yep, this is a real hem, turned hem, and this is a faux seam on the edge, on the sides. And away we go. Fingering weight sweater. Cool. Yeah, I should not have knit this adjacent to the other worsted weight sweater that was top down, because it was this feels like it's taking forever. I've been knitting on this. I've been doing nothing but knitting on this, and I'm getting nowhere. Like, my sense of inertia is low on a fingering weight sweater.
I've been going out and looking at like giant circular shawls. So, oh my God, shoot me. Shoot me. Like, how many things I cast on? I had a sweater, I got socks, I got a toy, I got mitts, and literally sprinkled all over, and I'm like, you know what I need? Another huge project. Plus my blanket, my Vivid blanket, I was just thinking about how I balled up some yarn to work on some of those squares, so those might, make an appearance as well. So, geez Louise.
Maybe the fall makes me buy yarn, and the fall makes you cast on projects.
Could be. I should go look. See if I have like a big cast on date.
We have this thing, it's called a podcast, and it's self-documenting.
Well, but I
could
can
watch like last year around this time.
I don't have to watch myself. I can just go review the data in the Ravelry, because I'm pretty good at that.
I see. I thought you were going to say review my fabulous show notes, but
I guess I could do that too.
Like, oh my God.
Just something that doesn't involve me watching myself would be great.
Okay. Excellent. I had a purchase. I was enabled by our enabling thread, and I've been enabled by our enabling thread several times, which you will see in future episodes.
Okay.
This is self-striping VFL, which is like Megan Kryptonite, or the opposite of Kryptonite. Well, it's my weakness. It makes me weak on buying, so I guess it could be Megan Kryptonite.
Okay.
I really love it. It's not a bad thing for me. It doesn't make me like die or anything. I guess it doesn't doesn't make Superman die either. Sorry.
Just makes him weak.
And this makes me weak. So Bazinga. This one is it's the Color Wheel, which is the Color Wheel yarn on Etsy. This is an 80/20 BFL nylon, 408 yards. It's a 6 stripes self-striping in the colorway is Pumpkin Fields. So it's the yellow, green, blue, and then brown in between them.
Oh, okay.
So I think the brown gets counted 3 times.
Okay.
Or not yellow, orange, brown, green, brown, blue, brown.
Okay.
So that's 6, right? If you're keeping track at home, auditing. So that's Pumpkin Fields. This one is Gumball Oops. So there's, I think it's the purpley, pinky stripe. She over-dyed. There was an oops in here. She over-dyed it because it didn't quite get it. And it had some blips of something, but I liked it. So it's 6 stripes, and I think there are 6 unique colors in here.
Cool.
Yes. Red, orange, green, blue, purple. That pinky one. We made that one. And that one is BFL as well. BFL self-striping. On my nails, in my inbox. And then this one is Smooth Sock is the base. It's 80% merino, 20% nylon, 420 yards in a 6 striper called Bewitching.
That's a cool one.
Kind of reminds me of you and I. So 6 stripes. I think it's gray, black, purple, black, orange, black. Is the order there, but very smushy. She was fantastic to work with. Got it out super uber fast. Can't say enough good things about the Color Wheel. Check her out in our enabling thread or go directly out to the Color Wheel yarn on Etsy. Cool. And I'll link her. Yeah, so I don't have a striping problem at all.
No, none.
Self-Stripers Anonymous needs to be reenacted. I need to redo the count.
Yes,
so like that thread, I had the count, and now every time I enter into, although I've been less vigilant about adding into Ravelry lately with new yarns. I know, right? Who am I? I'm knitting top-down socks. I'm not knitting all of my yarns into Ravelry stash. I'm impersonating someone else. That is
You
not
really
me.
are.
That is not me. So, that is my enabling. Did you have any enabling?
Nope.
All right, I've got some more enabling to come. Some names that you might recognize.
Okay.
Some new to me things. But other than that, retreat signups are this Friday, the 6th, 9/6, in the AM. I will Twitter it, and I will, I can post it out in the Zombie Knitpocalypse group out on Ravelry, but we'll open her up, and away we go.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
It will. And again, we're going to try to avoid having a wait list if at all possible. But if you get there and it's all bought up, PayPal will forward you on to a form where you can submit what name you want to be listed on the wait list as, and it will be a public wait list, which I think I'll update probably. We'll update it once it starts filling up, if it starts filling up, and then if people get off, then it'll get updated by that. But go out and check it out on zombieknitpocalypse.com. All of the details are there. And if you have any questions, you can contact me, Megan, at stockingitzombies.com, or Amy at stockingitzombies.com, and we can answer any questions you have about that. Birthday kits are going. Yep.
Yeah, we're working on them.
Yep. Paid people. Things are being dyed and sewed. Those are the 2 things you know about. And the rest is a mystery.
Yeah.
An enigma wrapped in a birthday kit.
Yeah.
But yes, super excited about them. The more things we're ordering, the more excited I get. So,
Yeah.
very exciting. And again, those are in October. So mid-October, mid to end of October. And that's all she wrote. We're getting longer and longer winded.
Yeah, well, we're doing all right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.